Although he was involved in many ventures, Mark Aiken had the biggest impact in the anti-slavery movement.
In 1835, he attended land sales in Quincy. He purchased some land, and he also met George Bester. And George and Mark went into business for a while as land agents dealing primarily in land in the military tract. Mark Aiken made Peoria his home. He continued in real estate for the rest of his life. He purchased much valuable land, some of which had coal on it, and he invested in coal mines. Mark Aiken served his community. He was an assessor. He served as school inspector and held other positions. He was a temperance man. In politics, he was first a Whig and then a Republican, and he supported strongly Abraham Lincoln, although he did vote for Horace Greeley when he ran for president. He was first a member of the Methodist Church in Peoria, and later in 1855 helped to found the Second Presbyterian Church. But Mark long identified himself with the Main Street Church, which was known as the Abolition Church, because Mark was a staunch abolitionist. The Main Street Church was organized in 1834 as a Presbyterian church, but became congregational in 1847. And Mark is connected with the history of its two historic bells. Mark Aiken rang the church bell that brought people to the Main Street Church for the purpose of organizing a Peoria Anti-Slavery Society in 1843. And this bell became known as the Liberty Bell, the first bell heard in Peoria for God, freedom, and native land. In 1857, the church had a much larger church building and it had a much larger bell. And Mark went to the church on the occasion of every Union victory during the Civil War, and he rang the bell. Mark Aiken also worked on the Underground Railroad, and for this type of activity and for his strong anti-slavery convictions, he earned the title of the Apostle of Liberty. Main Street Congregational became known as the First Congregational Church in 1875. In 1936, the First Congregational Church burned down, and the little anti-slavery bell was destroyed in the fire. In 1937, First Congregational and Second Presbyterian united to form First Federated Church. The Liberty Bell, the one that was rung on the occasion of every Union victory, is now on display on the church grounds.